Hello everybody, my name is Leilani. Welcome back to my channel. I'm the author of the upcoming young adult paranormal romance, Devil's Heir. And so if you watched my video last week, that was all about my 2019 goals. So today I want to talk about another project that I'm working on for this year. So it's been about a solid week since I gave Devil's Heir draft 2 to my betas. Also sorry in advance if you hear like scratching in my room. My dog's in here. And I've been restless. I've been super restless. Not really sure what to do with myself in the meantime since I gave them about a 3-week deadline. So I decided to start plotting a book that I've tried multiple times, much like how I tried Devil's Heir at least 3-4 times before I finally got to the version it is right now. So that's in this book. I'm not going to talk about specifics yet because I don't want to share it, but I will say it is a young adult contemporary romance that I'm going to try to traditionally publish rather than self-publish because I feel like it has a pretty good chance. So if things don't work out traditionally publishing, then of course I'll probably end up going the self-publishing route, but later. More about that later. So what I wanted to talk about in this video is how I went from a terrible pantser to a planter, which is the middle of a plotter and a pantser. So if you don't know what that is, quickly, pantser is basically someone who doesn't really plot, they just sit down and write. Plotter is what it sounds like. They plot a lot. So recently I picked up the copy of, wow, today's a rough day, a copy of Save the Cat, which is, if you watch like any video about how to plot, everyone's going to be talking about that. It's basically a video, it's a book. Save the Cat is a book about plotting. So I bought that and I gave it a go and I read it, and it was actually really helpful about what to expect, not just beginning, middle, end, but specifically like, okay, 50% into your book this should happen, 75% this should happen, 80 to 90 this should happen. So I kind of wrote that down as like basic guidelines, and I would show you specifically my notebook, but then obviously you would see my work, so I'm not gonna do that. But I will say, so what I did, I guess I can kind of show you a little bit. So if you can a little bit see, like here's all the taglines, right? So we have the catalyst, the debate, the B story, fun and games, bad guy closes in, all is lost, dark night, blah blah blah, finale. So basically those are the specific points you should be hitting in your novel where specific things should be happening. So I wrote that down with the percentages and what should be happening by those points in this book. So normally like the pantser in me would be like good to go, like that's kind of all I need to know. I'll make it up as I go. But for this specific book, like I said, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but it's taken, how am I trying to say? Goes over, takes over, happens over a short period of time, only a month. So very short, but that timeline is important for the book. So for me specifically, what I decided to do is I knew every single day something important had to happen. So that's exactly what I did. I literally went like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, well, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I wrote down every single day what is going to happen that day. And the idea, I don't know if this is exactly how it's gonna work out because I haven't written it yet, obviously. The idea is it's gonna be a chapter per day. So hopefully a lot will be happening throughout that day, obviously, so the chapters should be, you know, hopefully pretty lengthy, as it's only over a month. So that's kind of what I did. That's how a serious pantser is trying to at least transfer over to a plantser. Yeah, so I'm almost done writing out my days. So what I end up doing, oh, Coda. So what I end up doing is I write a lot of sticky notes, like as I go through. Like if one day I get tired, but like I know what I want to be happening in like the next couple days or something like that, I'll like stop and I'll write like a bunch of stickies about what I want to be happening next. So that's kind of how I go along. So I realize this isn't going to work for every single novel or hell, every single person. But this specifically helped me. Like I know a lot of people will do like the sticky notes for the big picture stuff, or they'll do their chapter, what they want their chapter to be like, and they'll put it on like a board or like on their wall. They'll organize it like that. Which is totally fine. Like I actually did that for Devil's Heir, so I'll probably be doing something like that in the future. But like I know a lot of videos about plotting is really intense. Like like I remember watching Jenna Moresi's, who's a super awesome fellow authortuber. She was talking about her plotting, and that's what she did. So she did like a bunch of stickies, and then I was like, oh, totally doable. Like I can do stickies. Like I do stickies. And then she was like, and then I take all this information and I write it out into like a 30-page manuscript of my plot. And I was like, that's where you lost me. Like I'm not doing that. Because once I get an idea, I just want to write it. Like to me, if I know what's gonna happen, like I'd rather spend my time writing it, right? So even like now, like I said, I'm almost done with writing the day by days. I probably have like about a week left, and I already know how it wants to end. So I'm just like, oh, like as long as I know that it ends, like it should be fine. I'm just gonna write. But I convinced myself that I want to finish writing it out, so that when I do sit down to draft this, which hopefully I'll start next Monday, which is like wild. Which is crazy because I'm still in the first round of my betas for my debut novel, and here I am starting a brand new project that I'm hoping to go on an even different publishing journey, different route. So anyways, that's just my not so quick little video. It's already about 9 minutes long about just don't feel so, like for all my pantsers out there, don't feel so bad if you try out the plotting world and you feel like it's not enough. Like you don't have that 30 pages, you don't have a wall full of stickies. Like hell, even like I mentioned before, just having these, you know, this is what should happen, 10%, 20%, 22%, 20 to 50%. Like even having that is already such a help. Like a reason I'm having such a hard time in my Devil's Heir is because I pantsed the shit out of this book. And I wrote it over with like months in between, you know what I mean? So even as I'm going through my personal edits, I'm like adding stuff and I'm like, okay, shit, now I have to make sure this makes sense. And I have to make sure I fix this so it matches this, which is editing in general. But if I would have done this first, it probably would have at least made more sense. Like all the big stuff that I put in through these edits would have already been there, which is how it should be, you know? Hopefully you shouldn't be making anything super major changes in editing, which if you do, doesn't really matter. Like, you know, do what you gotta do to make your book good, right? But yeah, so basically life lesson here, which is a lesson to myself as well. Don't feel bad about your writing style, your process, whatever. If you're a pantser and it works out, go for it. If you're a plotter and it works out, power to you, because I can never do as in-depth as some of you guys do it. And if you're trying to figure out how to be a planter, I recommend picking up Save the Cat, so you learn all of these points that you need to hit, because even then, like, what I wrote down is still like super vague, like nothing specific. Like there's some not worksheets, but like prompts that you can do through the book that it'll tell you how to do it to help you like write your novel. But even then I'm like, that's too much work. I don't really want to do the worksheet. I'm just gonna kind of do it and hope for the best. So far this has worked out for me, and I hope it works out for you. So good vibes always, good vibes to all my fellow writers, readers, and just people in general. Okay, I'll see you next week. Bye guys.